Alright, now we got the hoodie on, and we're going to go for an impromptu, sort of improvised video topic for this one. We've already uploaded 5 other videos, including the so-called pointless one, and I'm going to try and keep going with this a little more. Even if this burns me out, I'm going to keep going with this. I want to see if I can drive forward with at least 6 today, and if not just 6, then we'll just do a few more that are also kind of just interesting, although maybe a little bit different from the last 5. We'll talk something slightly more specific, so we don't just go into only philosophy. So maybe for this one, we'll talk about PowerApps, Microsoft PowerApps, and we're going to talk about my experience with them, both between the trial and the recent purchase of their licensing program. And I'm going to go for a little bit more of that in my own life, but first I'll explain the trial. So when I started doing PowerApps, I started getting into this free training course, which I found on what was it? Was it Udacity or Coursera? Coursera. No, Coursera. Udacity. It was Udacity. On Udacity, they offered a Microsoft Power Platform free training course for the Power Apps platform, the Power Platform, and that's how it was introduced to me was that of course one of the lead engineers at Microsoft, Donna Sarkar, and some of the other lead engineers and technicians over there helped her out with this training course, and they actually made it so that you could see the whole program of Power Platform and Power Apps as the way it was intended to through Microsoft, because of course they're working for Microsoft, so that's going to be the whole thing. So the way this went about for me was on Udacity. They offered material that you could look through to guide you on setting up a trial or a tenant with the Power Platform on Microsoft. And you can get all this for free as long as you went through their instruction manual stuff. And you can get all of it for free through the tenant as long as you renew the trial tenant every 3 months, as in using it every 3 months without losing access to it. Hopefully not. But you could probably finish this whole course in like 1 month if you're not slugging. But yeah, it was for me. It took like almost a whole year to finish because I was taking my time, sweet ass time. And yeah, I think with the Power Apps, I was trying to make sure that I would not be in a hurry to just get a what was it, PL900 test done, which that costs money too. That costs money, not just the actual purchasing Power Apps, because you have to pay. You pay a subscription fee for the actual Power Apps license if you get it after the trial is over, or if you get it during the trial. The courses at the time, but the trials are and they're renewed every 3 months. So like you have to keep using it to keep it up going. But the PL100, PL900, probably most likely the PL900 is the Microsoft's documentation exam thing. It's Microsoft's examination course to make sure that people who use Power Apps and Power Platform are ready to use it in the real world and use it as developers for any job or career we're not for. But yeah, if you get the PL900 passed, you'll be able to most likely get a job with the Power Apps on your side, and you'll also be able to get a job with people knowing that you are experienced as a developer for Power Apps, the Power Platform. And even if technically you don't need it, it'll still be a lot more for someone who knows that you can do it. Then even if you weren't necessarily qualified but still experienced, but it still makes a difference to be able to passing like the PL900. So, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's just say that you're someone who's taking this course, or without the course, you're taking the documentation materials on the Power Apps website, and you're learning through how to use Power Apps like I am. You're looking through all the documentation online and offered by Microsoft. You're learning how to do Power Apps. You're doing the trials and the tenants and the license eventually, and they're passing the PL900 and getting a job in Power Apps. That's a really good way to go. It's very invigorating. Things with Power Apps being done, the business apps that you develop with Power Apps, which is by the way what it's for usually, for organizations who do that. It's very invigorating. It seems easy and underrated or overrated in different ways. It's actually underrated in my opinion, but to be able to develop business apps for organizations and to do it in a way that's this like enticing to know that you can actually have control over low code, no code, and not have to rely on a computer science regimen just to get something released. And maybe not all computer scientists are like this. I mean, I should know. I mean, the people I've known in my life are like that. But like, not all of them are bulky. But to be able to have they have an assembly mindset of where your Power Apps is going to orient yourself into being able to enter the low code, no code enterprise platform and not have to worry about whether something's implemented properly or not through computer science, or even if the hard computer science is worth it at that point. You have PowerApps to help you in that mannerism. And that's where I'm going with this. I think PowerApps is a really good way for people who don't want for people who want to give it a chance. I'd say go for it. Even if you don't learn anything for PowerApps, just learning how to be an organized assembly person and have those kinds of mental skills where you can learn how to assemble things that are already pre-positioned and things that you did put effort into, but in the most invigorating and stylish way you could. That's why I think Microsoft PowerApps and Power Platform comes into play and becomes a really big benefit. So I think it's like a... So the way I did the trial was I took my time, almost a year or more, to take the course on Udacity. So I got my little certificate for that, but like whatever that was. But not gonna brag too much about that or underbrag. But it's like you go through PowerApps, Power Automate, and that was a little tricky actually. Unfortunately, the email listing on Power Automate was a little tricky. PowerApps itself, which is I love a lot. AI Builder, which was again also tricky because AI Builder needed renewing its own trial as like Power Virtual Agents, the chatbot one for that, which we can get to later. If I need to, but because AI Builder has credits you get with a subscription if you use them, and then if not, then you get the trials renewed on AI Builder and Virtual Agents separately, and then they have Power Buy, which I didn't use as much on the trial or the course. So I don't know if I had to renew Power Buy. I don't think I have to, but Power Buy we didn't use for the course, and we didn't really get into maybe some other stuff like documentation or Azure DevOps. Azure DevOps wasn't even necessary for the course, but like it was just another thing like you do, especially if you did that if you use Azure DevOps with the subscription, then there's a subscription for that specifically. But yeah, I went to DevOps not just to get Moonray from Azure, or Moonray with a RAS from the DreamWorks company. I'm not that kind of a guy who's like, oh, I have to get a Moonray from a RAS because I'm already doing PowerApps, might as well. I just mean that it's like it was still something that I was invigorated about and I wanted to try it out while before or during or after getting ready with PowerApps alone. And I was in a position for that, and I didn't want to take advantage of that too much, but just enough to get an opportunity for it. But yeah, if Moonray with a RAS on Azure was available for the DevOps sequence ecosystem, then I would have tried. But but Moonray's not even available now in 2023 yet. So I mean, they're probably getting ready as around the corner, but hopefully they'll get that out. The 3D rendering software, but renderer. But PowerApps, the first few apps I developed with PowerApps during and after the course were like things like, because the course in question, the one I'm trying to talk about, I don't know how to link it yet, but the course in question from Donna Sakarna to our team, they tried to go through things like wax fruit, like object detection from AI Builder, so they got like a few like canned teas to detect, and then they had like they had you develop your own Canvas app, which was not too hard, not too easy either, but because it depends on how you fall through the instructions. Sometimes the instructions can be a little vague, but it was still helpful that they actually put this together anyways. So, but. And then you had Power Automate, which was its own thing. You had it set up an email reminder thing automatically, and that didn't always work. AI Builder's detection would go like 70% or 50% accurate. It's like 55% or more accurate, because I had to find all the images on my own on accident because I didn't get the file to work. The file download wouldn't work for the image sample, so I had to download that on the internet by myself. The images that they were using on a whim on Scratch. So I was like, okay, I'll use as many builds as possible, and that's what I went through with them. So that's a long story with that, but yeah. But yeah, through thick and thin, I managed to get that so-called certificate from the course on Udacity, and it didn't take too long. Even if I took as little time as necessary, I would have still gone through with at least 3 months done with it. So it's it is what it is. But after using PowerApps on my own, after a while, it became pretty clear to me that I would still want to use it, even if it was not a good depth increaser to have a subscription for PowerApps like that. Because I very recently just got this license, so it's like not that I had to wait that long, but just take my own time. Because the current tenant trial would have lasted until near the end of February 2023, and that would have been good for me if I had to renew that. But I bought the license anyways. What you do when you get the license is that you have to pretend you're if you're not getting this with anyone else or any actual organization, because the organization is optional. But if you're not actually getting this for anyone else or even for your own team, then you have to sign the license to yourself as if you're the owner. And that what you do is you get your license on the check mark from the layout page, and you guys probably know what I'm talking about. But like, you sign to yourself basically through your own organization, and then you just refresh the page for PowerApps and all that other stuff, and see if it stops prompting you the question, do you want this subscription? And I'm pretty sure it would stop prompting me at some point if I was actually going to be past the point where they offer that. They offered like a deal with a subscription recently this year, and once we get past that date, I'm pretty sure they'll offer that again. It's probably still being told to me because I'm not the only one who can get the license. Obviously, if I'm the only one in my own organization, because my organization doesn't technically exist, but it's like it's in case I need to get more licenses for other employees, I guess. But I'm the only employee in my organization, so to speak. So it's like, so it's still being offered me the 20% off for my $20 per month thing, and that's pretty nice. $15 per month, which I can hopefully handle for a while longer. At least the year that I can get that, and then maybe I'll just might jump back to $20 for a year, but after 2023. But I'm fine with that. We had until like late March 2023 to make this work. So if the deal was not gonna last until then I'm very lucky anyways. But I got it as early as the beginning of this year. So manifestation journeys, paying for these things without worrying about the money. And some people want me to worry, but not who needs them. So So with PowerApps, here are a few things I plan to do in no convincing order. I'm going to do that PL 900 when I'm ready. Only want to do as much documentation as I feel good about doing. Not all the documentation needs to be done. Not all the testing needs to be done. But I want to do as much as I feel good about doing. Because I feel invigorated studying in there anyways. But once I get to a point where I want to study the first time for the test, then I'll study for the test and practice for things I don't expect as much. And then take the PL 900. Even if I fail the first time, that won't be so bad. Not even for people who are going to try to stop me after that fact. But, because the PL 900 costs money too, so not just the license. But, so PL 900, if I pass the PL 900 the first time, which I hope I do, but even if I don't, it'll be okay. If I pass the PL 900 upon any of the first 2 tries, I'm going to just go with it and take with me. Maybe set up a LinkedIn or look for jobs on Indeed.com and just like start going from there, seeing if I get into side hustles that could offer PowerApps as an employment, whatever employment I have right now or later on. If it's not a side hustle, it could be a replacement job, but I wouldn't know for sure. I would rather have it as a side hustle anyways, just to have something to do during the weeks. Even though I technically do claymations during the weeks sometimes, if I'm ever doing that again, because I'm not dismissing claymation too much. I don't want to even be rude about that, but just it's like so yeah, PowerApps would still be good for like the Power Platform would still be good for like looking for a job after being certified from PL 900 and for practicing PowerApps on my own time with the license but previously with the tenants, the trials. Here's the last few words I'm going to give about PowerApps real quick before I make another video about it anyways. It's really something. Like I've been saying it was invigorating and enticing. That's for me that has been true. It's like you assemble these business apps ideas into each other, these frameworks that already exist, but with your own ideas and implementation and your own genuine interest and thoughts about what you could do with these things and idea generating for what you could do with business apps and the AI and all that other stuff. If you can I hate to be jaded, but if you can type this out, you can pretty much do it. Like if you can like actually imagine in your head, if you can think it through, then you can probably make it work. And then just like PowerApps and Power Platform pretty much paves the way for an ecosystem that you can actually design low-code, no-code software and apps for businesses that probably will want what you're offering anyways, even if it's not convenient at first. But it's meant to be convenient to begin with. But like if you're offering PowerApps in the first place, there are probably half the businesses who even hear you say that will most likely not turn you down. They'll be invested in your ideas anyways, even if it takes a while to implement at first, because not every new developer is going to know what to do right away, even in the real world environments particularly. But hopefully they'll work anyways, and I'm not trying to dismiss them too much. I hope that works out for them, including myself. So for Microsoft PowerApps and Power Platform, my advice for you is to just give it a chance. Go through any course and documentation, set up a trial and tenants, then get the license if you want to. But even before getting the license, you at least pass the PL 900 if you want to either way. If you pay for the PL 900 and you pass, then good for you. Get that certification for PowerApps and start using it for any of the jobs you can find, or side hustles, if you will. And last but not least, be sure to give credit to the Microsoft team. Don Sakar was leading a lot of these stuff, but also some other people you might find over there, as well the employees. Give credit to them. Their Twitters aren't in my description down below or my comments down below pinned. They're not really going to be there because I'm going to be lazy to put them in there anyways. But they're on Twitter somewhere. Donna Sarkar's there. For Donna to be like DONASARKAAR. That's her Twitter hashtag thing. And then there's a few other ones. I forgot their names, but there's like 3 or 4 other ones from the course I had in the question. And that should be it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked the video, do click the like button. Subscribe if you haven't, because I still will make claymations over time, but just not as always. Maybe more rapidly over time as 2023 or further on goes along. And if I make other videos including abstract philosophy, be sure to watch those as well. I'll see you in another video. Maybe more will come today, most likely.